Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Hey, it's Will.
This is Thomas.
We're back at the Virtual Spinner Rack this week to take a look at Vampirella.
Yeah, they say, is this the Virtual Spinner Rack or is this the magazine rack?
This is the magazine rack. But you know, there was a couple of busted wires down the bottom. That's where they used to shove the magazines in like this. But this is one of the few. I actually, there's like a tier, like a small tear, like right there on the cover.
Yeah, I see it.
So other than that, it's a great copy. I scored it for $10 about a year or so ago, and I'm always happy when I can get a good deal on one of these, because if they're even like in a 7.0 kind of condition, yeah, everybody wants like $20-$30 for them, depending.
Yeah, they want a freaking fortune for them.
Yeah, well, I looked at the I looked and got sad because the last 2 pages of this book was how you could reorder back issues of Vampirella. Yeah. And even in 1978, this issue had just come out, so they had 72 issues that you could have back ordered. Number 1 and 5, the covers were drawn by Frazetta.
Yes.
So, and I could tell that just because of the price tag on them. Even in 1978, if you missed issue 1 and you needed another one, it was going to cost you $45.
Yeah, it was like, it's 25, 45, something like that. But now that book is freaking $3,000 or something.
Yeah. I have lots of reprints of that book.
I've got 1 or 2 reprints of it. They did
I think I got
facsimile a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think I got like 3. They reprinted one like back in like 90s 2K when Dynamite first started doing Vampirella. Yeah. And so I've got one from there. And then 1 or 2 others over like the last few years.
Yeah, because like the 90s one that's a reprint is comic size. Mm-hmm. It's regular, like the same size as a regular comic book. And the one they did a couple years ago is magazine size.
Yeah, and then I don't know if they continued doing it, but they had started basically reprinting the Warren series. And they did like the number 1, and then they did a number 2, and I think 3, and I think that's all they did.
I'm not sure on that one. I know I got the 1. I did buy the Dynamite. I think when we did 1, I showed it to you. The Dynamite Vampirella at the first 10 issues or whatever, and hardback. I'd found it at an antique store for like $10 or $20.
That's always a good deal. I'll move Vampy.
Yeah, it was a long book, but good.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt good about myself because, like, as of like yesterday afternoon, before I had to take my old man nap again, because for some reason reading makes me tired. So I had gotten like just over like page 40 in it, and I felt accomplished. I go, there's only a couple pages left. I go, yeah, there's 20-something pages left, stupid. I'm like, oh, yeah. But I sat down, and it was a quick read, so.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. No, not too bad at all.
Yeah. So in this part of our ramblings of 2 crazy old guys, this is, I showed it to you in the back, but this is the cryptid laser etched plaque. So they basically torch it to get that charred look. Yeah. And then they feed it into the laser etcher, and then you get like this like awesome golden brown. It's like, you will not remember this visit. or this encounter rather.
That's
All
kind of cool,
represented.
though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's thin piece of wood. You could put it up with like two of those Scotch like hook things, and just
Yeah.
like lean it against the wall like that for display. I read the book; it was really good. I enjoyed it. Then I got volume 1 of Life on Korra, the hardcover. I've got all the originals and first prints. I love the color palette on this thing. It's like all blues and purples.
Oh, sweet.
So it's really great looking, and it's for all ages. This is the closest I will be reading to My Little Pony. So, and I got the remark from the creator, and this came to me all the way from New Zealand. I'm still
You
waiting.
didn't tell me it was New Zealand.
Oh yeah, and they got like he knocked off some black and whites that he scanned in to do coloring pages for people, um, and there's like some stickers of some of the characters in there and a business card.
Oh, cool.
I also got, I think I showed this. Did I show these already?
No.
The Kaijus and Cowboys?
Last week, I think.
Yeah. So I got a chance to, I read the second issue, and then I get to sit down. This week I did a lot of shows. I get to talk to Adam Lawson, who's got the Kill Journal dossier book out. It's got that 90s look. It's a complete like chromium foil wraparound cover.
Oh, sweet.
And it's a one shot, and you could read this even if you didn't buy the graphic novel that it's tied into. But during the
it's
campaign,
standalone.
it's a standalone. But if you wanted to read the graphic novel, you can. It's 131 pages, and it's on sale on the campaign for this one for only $15, opposed to the $25 cover price.
Oh, so almost half off.
Yeah. So it's like, so it'd be like $40 for everything, because the standalone book's the chromium, and it's limited to like 500 copies.
Holy Jesus!
So and they're all going to be signed and numbered.
Instant collectible.
Instant collectible. Yep. If the wraparound chromium gold foil covers weren't enough. And then I get to sit down and talk with my friend Frankie B, that does Kaiju, is the artist for Kaijus and Cowboys. And we had a great talk, but then Kickstarter was in the middle of a maintenance cycle. Luckily, I kept checking during the broadcast. So we were talking about all kinds of stuff, and that a gaming company years ago that he did a lot of work for, because they would call him up and have him just draw like RPG book stuff.
Yeah.
Like, draw a sword, draw a dragon holding a sword, and he goes, it was a lot of cool stuff, and it was enjoyable. And I guess they recontacted him because they heard about Kaijus and Cowboys, and they've sat down with both the writer and him as the artist, and they've had a couple of meetings and got everything on the table. It looks like sometime in 2024, Kaijus and Cowboys is going to get an RPG game.
Oh, sweet. So we get like a 5D or something RPG.
Yep. I have it. I'll pull it up at the end of the show, but I got an email since I backed the Fire and Ice campaign. They've added an expansion to the game already.
Damn.
And I'm like, yes. Hopefully, it's included in that $75. If not,
you got to come up with some more money.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys still want to buy my Dark Horse Star Wars books? Sure. Where's that? Oh, I'm not selling you the Clone Wars. Hey, Alan, how are you?
Well,
so that's what I got, and I got a bunch of stickers, and I got another patch So I've got both patches for the series so far.
Sweet.
A sculptor that he came across that he's been friends with for numerous amounts of years. His screen name is Dope Pope.
The Dope Pope.
The Dope Pope, like most of the popes. And
that'll tie into our comic later on.
Yes, sir. He has made the main character bot as a 3D printable thing.
Oh, so you make your own little and then paint him and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can paint it, but it's an 8-inch figure, and it's got a base that has the logo for the book on it and everything. I ran and looked at that because he did the unboxing on a video last week, and I ran and looked at it, but a little out of my price range. Custom figure doesn't move; it's just basically a PVC statue.
Yeah.
Even though the spurs on the back of his legs look like they spin, but they don't.
They don't.
It looks really cool. But the tier for that is you get all 3 books, and something, I think a sketch card by Frankie and the figure, but it's a $200 tier. I'm like, well, that's not in my price range.
Dang it.
I'll just take the patches. But
well, talk about plastic figures. Actually, it's not plastic, but I got a figure in today.
Okay, cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
Eagle Moss.
Oh, cool.
The classic, was it the classic Marvel figurine collection? It says they are figurine, what's it say? Each character cast in formulated metallic resin and painted by hand. I've already opened it, or it was already opened whenever I got it. But it comes with, I'll get him out so you can see. Comes with these cool ass little books, dude. And it's kind of like the whole history of the Nick in it. Like from the early days to
the pre-Samuel Jackson Nick Fury, yes.
Yeah. This is the original Nick.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's him in World War II before he lost his eye, all that stuff. And then they put a little piece of tape on it. Like that's going to keep a criminal out. They do that all the time at work. I'm like, come on, people. They're going to steal it no matter what. Oh, yeah, he's like a little medal. AAD 1124. I wonder if that's his number or what. But 2 guns. Got the silencers. Yeah. Classic blue and white costume.
Yeah. See, that would be something I would like. Probably just the packaging, but that would be something that I would have like Steranko side.
Oh, dude, yeah, Steranko.
Because that's Steranko's Nick Fury.
You damn right it is.
Not the one that says motherfucker all the
time. Damn it, you're right it is. Now the other thing you have not seen it. I didn't share it on Facebook. I've gotten to the point where if I get something in, I just want it to be a complete surprise. So I've held this up. I showed a few other people, but you have not seen this. You ready? It's not original. I couldn't afford the original, but if I could have, I would have got it. It is signed though by the man.
Oh, nice.
Signed by the Zek. Apparently this was a cover for like a special European copy. Captain America something. I don't know. So it was never published over here that I know of. Mm-hmm. But this, I guess Zek or whoever it was printed a bunch of them on the heavy card stock like you buy the posters at the conventions, and then he signed them all.
Nice. Alan says that's not the lead one or the lead one.
Yeah, it's metal, but I don't think it's not lead, Alan. It's not quite as heavy as some of the other figures I've got. Alan got me into
Ex Alan. Blah blah.
yeah,
I want to suck your blood.
the Alan kind of got me into the Eagle Moss figures years ago, and I've been picking them up. But Eagle Moss actually does like a handful of different ones. Some of them are the original lead ones are super heavy, and then there's like some plastic ones, and there's some in between. That one's kind of like an in between one. It's definitely heavier than just a little plastic, but it's not the lead ones.
Yeah. I think they're the ones. Are they the ones that did the chess piece ones?
Yes, the chess piece ones.
Okay. Obviously, I don't have the Marvel ones. DC guy.
I've got two of them.
A friend of mine that passed away, another friend of his, because his wife didn't want any of them after he passed, so they brought it all by the shop and they priced them out to go, and he did a deal with her for just a handful of figures that he wanted, not the whole set. So
yeah.
But I've got the complete Batman chess set. Minus
sweet.
the board. The board they want like $200 for. It's a piece of crap plastic.
Yeah.
That just has like bats printed all over the place. I'm like, dude, I could get like a real chessboard and just,
paint bats on it.
Yeah, have my buddy come over and pick it up, and he'd like sand it down and like airbrush bats and some cool stuff on it. Probably like a big Joker face, knowing me, but I've got all those, and I had almost all of the Justice League set. But then something happened, and I woke up from a coma, so I don't have all the Justice League pieces, but I've got like 3/4 of them. And it's the heaviest box of collectibles I own.
Really?
For all these tiny things. But they did the same thing, but they were like magazine-sized booklets.
Yeah.
And they put them in like these plastic bags with the piece like sealed in.
Yeah, some of the ones I got a few from Alan a couple years ago, and they actually they come with like big magazines. This one, like I said, that's a littler book. It's you saw how big it was, probably 9 by 10 or whatever. The ones that he has are actual magazines, or the ones I got from him are magazine size.
Yeah, I think those are the chess set ones, because obviously in the Batman chess set, Batman's the first figure.
Yeah.
So when you open it up, there's like a centerfold in there, which is like a down view of the chessboard, and it tells you where all the pieces go, so you know what piece is what.
Really? So while you're talking about that, I did this because remember I showed you this, and you said you wanted to see it in color.
Yep.
There it is. I saw it today when I was looking at pre-orders. So
nice.
There's your Frank Cho Joker that he just did, put up on Facebook like a week ago.
Nice.
Already colored. But it's card stocks. It's like $6, man. It's 32 pages for $6.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care because I'm probably not going to read it. I'm probably just going to display it because it's a cool Joker cover.
Yeah. The only thing I wish he would have done is, all right, looking at it that way, I mean, the Joker looks awesome. Batman looks awesome. And the Gargoyle is cool. But I would have liked to seen, like, maybe extend the Gargoyle out. Show me the edge of the building as opposed to just stopping. You know what I'm saying? It floats. Give me the whole city scene. I think that would have looked nicer.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's our book. I put it up there so we can look at it. The full length Vampy story. Yeah. Vampirella 73.
And they got clever with this one. We'll get them. Issue 73, full length story, 73 pages long.
Yeah, it's just like a full 73 pages. Yeah. It's like words.
Yeah. All I can say, the best thing about this was his inking, and when you look closely at a bunch of the pages, you can tell, this wasn't, this was all like inkwells with brushes.
Yeah, yeah. Especially all the character work. Now, some of it, and I'm not sure how they did it, but some of it really looked like photostat.
Mm-hmm.
Like they actually had a picture of a background of a building or whatever, and they just inked over that or something. I'm not sure how they would have done it. And of course this cool ass cover is actually kind of in the issue because she does turn into a bat a couple times, and I honestly had forgotten she could turn into a bat.
Because as of recent, all she does is sprout big giant bat wings out of her back.
Really? See, I don't read modern Vampirella.
I try not to, but the covers are just so damn sexy that I buy them when I see them.
Yeah.
But I usually wait until like I see somebody when I have money, which is slim and none. When they're like, if one of the guys is having like he does like a post showing off a bunch of stuff that he's going to have during the sale, and he's got everything marked at like 50% off.
And then you snatch them up.
And
I don't read.
I snatch them up for like $1 or $2, and I'm like, okay.
I don't read modern Vampirella. I don't read modern Red Sonja. I just don't. I don't think it holds up. Not compared to the Frank Thorne stuff.
Yeah, the only thing that I would buy, like if I signed up for Dynamite stuff again, I would only buy it to get the JML covers.
Yeah, but I mean, he does like 10 a month.
Well, he does, because there's like 10 variants a month for everything. Yeah, and he does a cover for every issue that comes out.
Yeah, he does the Deja Thoris, Red Sonja, Vampirella, and he does Betty Page. So I know he's doing that's at least 4.
Yeah, there's like so he does like at least 5 covers a month.
Do you remember he was doing Conan variant covers back when Dark Horse was doing Conan?
I think he actually did like the first arc of Conan, like interiors too.
No, he didn't do the first. He didn't do the first arc. He did an arc, I think. Yeah. But he because the first arc was Gary Nord.
Oh, that's right.
Because it was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Like first 20 issues or something. But he did do an arc, and then he's doing covers for a while.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, I don't have anything going right now, and they just. You want to be one of our variant cover poster children? And he was like, sure. Here's my rate. Okay. Not like it says in the back of this magazine, but.
Oh my God, dude. We'll have to talk about that too.
Yeah.
That's actually insightful.
It's insightful and just stirred the pot for my hate of, Marvel corporate / Disney nowadays, because that sounds like the whole thing where well, you pay, here's all the rates from the guild and you pay that, and then Marvel went right to nope, we're gonna pay this and this.
Where's what? What bat? Oh, it's look over there by where my comics are. Sorry.
Wow, you have one spot that your comics are in? They're not like all over the house?
I've got talking about the ones out here that I'm reading.
Oh, the read pile. Okay.
Yeah, the read pile. But yeah, well, the other thing on that, we'll get to it later too, is where they were talking about everybody gets a flat rate, and they actually talk about, well, you get, here's an A quality artist and here's an F artist, F quality, and they all get paid the same rate. That's kind of crappy.
That is crappy, and obviously they can't do that nowadays because, well, one, every artist working for either Marvel or DC all think they're superstars,
Yeah.
and some of them are, but
Some of them aren't.
yeah, like obviously Alex Ross is,
Yeah.
JML is, but he's not working for them. He's working for Dynamite.
Yeah.
And others, and we all know how flippin' amazing Alex Ross is.
Yeah.
But is he amazing enough for when he does a new X-Men 3-part connecting cover that if you want them signed and graded, that they should be $1,500 a piece?
Oh yeah, you told me that last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Alex is taking, stepping into Neil's shoes and charging $50 a signature. So
Yeah. I think and that's what's funny though too is when we don't skip too bad, but they talked about the difference when you break down on inking, writing, and art, which was crazy.
And lettering, Paul.
And lettering, yeah.
All
right,
those
we'll get
poor bastards.
We'll get to that.
Let's get into Vampy.
All right. So is this a photograph?
That looks like a photograph. That looks like a photograph, and that is, of course, the painting on the front cover.
And that may be the reference image.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it was. And this is
78.
78.
Yep.
Editor-in-chief James Warren, senior editor Louise Jones. Louise Jones, she was married to somebody, right?
Maybe Bruce Jones?
No, what? It may have been. So Hex Allen thinks it looks like a photo too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're not all losing our mind. So yeah.
Well, technically.
Damn it.
They were worried about my brain damage when I came out of the coma. And they said, "No, he's always been like that. Don't worry."
Damn it. Art director Kim McQuaid, Susan First. Half of these people. Bob Larkin did the cover. I know Bob. Bob's cool.
It's a beautiful cover, though. I love the colors on it.
Oh yeah, the cover's really nice. Just trying to decide whether it was a photo or not. But yeah, so we think it's a photo. That's the reference photo, and then we got the cool cover. Now, this is probably the second most famous Vampirella artist. Past was it Gonzalez? And this is Gonzalo Mayo. The other one was Luis Gonzalez, I think.
Yeah. And of course, the most famous one is somebody it's Rosetta that did 2 covers.
Yeah, he did 2 covers.
He did 2 covers, but when he does something, you want it. Matter of fact, I couldn't fall asleep the other night, so I went on YouTube, and it's funny because now it's the 40th anniversary of Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
So when you search on YouTube for Fire and Ice to watch it, the first one is they want you to buy or rent the movie.
Yeah.
And then 1 or 2 down, it's free because it's been on there free for like ever.
Yeah.
So, I watched that and I was like, okay. And then I couldn't fall asleep, and then my phone died, and then I fell asleep. So,
damn it.
But
so
either way,
a gathering of demons. So it opens at the Hartsdale Asylum. And now this is actually probably around the same time that Arkham Asylum first shows up in comics.
Yeah.
Which kind of it kind of hit me there, but yeah. Look at this art. See, that almost looks like a photograph to me as well. That they've just they've laid the photograph down and traced it, and then inked it.
Yeah, it's almost like they said, well, Rankin Bass did it on that last Lord of the Rings animated movie. Let's just do that.
Yeah, I mean, even the door. Look at this door. But so there's 2 guys here, and they're walking along in the asylum, and they hear the screams there. So There's nothing you can do for her, Mr. Brewster. She's been screaming for months, 3 months, solid months. Her vocal cords must be raw. I wish there was something we could do. What's frightening her? Demons, her own private demons. And you see the poor lady screaming, and she is surrounded by demons as the doctor just closes the little door because he can't see them and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they real or are they not? Yeah.
Are they live or are they Memorex?
Memorex, damn it. Yeah. So they head down the as they go down the hallway, they actually talk about her case. Have you tried to shock it out of her? Shock treatments don't, the shock treatments, the works. I've done everything. Nothing stops her. And from her history, I'd say, it's an ugly term for psychiatrists. She feels she's possessed. From her history, I'd say you weren't far from wrong. And the guy's like, I'd be interested in hearing it. I've got it on tape, as told by the man who brought her to me, Professor Conrad Van Helsing.
The whole Van Helsing family is in this issue.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny because like the last time we did a Vampirella book, she had like tried to get back together with Adam Van Helsing.
Yeah.
And in this issue, they're like in dead heat of the romance, living together and
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he goes back and plays the tape here. Are the demons listening? We don't know. But dude, this lady is old as dirt. So we find out that the lady.
That's not nice to say, birthday boy.
Exactly. Damn it.
Hold down here.
The lady's name in the insane asylum there is Chrissy Collins. We find out when she was born, and she went to good schools, all this until she had these troubles and was brought to the insane asylum. And the story starts essentially this older lady is going here to check on one of her tenants, I think it was. And she finds him strung up and he's bled out. There's no blood on the floor, you can see. Then he was just screaming. And then, the next day, here comes our newspaper, and we're at the Van Helsings here. It was like 2 days ago. Penn Adam, here, you better talk. Let me speak to Vampirella. And this is Conrad. Dude, he's blind. Did you get that?
Yeah, I didn't catch it at first, and then it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was just had some big ass glasses on, and then you keep reading, and he's like, oh no, he's actually, thank you, sir. He's actually blind. So yeah, this is there's Conrad and his son. Yeah, so this is Penn. Let me speak to Vampirella, and then here's our story, our Vampy. Ladies and gentlemen, dude, it's a good picture.
Yeah, it is.
Damn it. The incredible Pendragon and his horde of performing demons. They're everywhere. This had to take a while to ink all of this.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
when they first called him Penn, during the every time he came on into a panel, I'm like,
yeah,
okay, there's Penn. Where's Teller?
Damn it. No, I kept thinking when I saw I didn't think Teller. I was like, oh, Pendragon. I just kept like the whole King Arthur thing keep popping. But we find out, Wednesday evening backstage at the New York's Plush Disco Cabaret. Vampy, baby, you were sensational. That illusion with the demons had us crawling all over our seats. Mere hypnosis. Lad, on a somewhat grandiose scale. I dare say, however, the Minx could never have pulled it off without my dexterous distraction of the audience. Okay, Penn, you were good too. Satisfied immeasurably. Dude, she is on him this whole damn book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole thing. She is just get off of him. Give him time to breathe, woman. It's suddenly getting chilly in here. Really? It couldn't be anything because you're not wearing any clothes. So, yeah.
So where were they performing at? Studio 54?
Yeah, this is Van Helsing shows up. I know you're descended from a long line of vampire hunters, but Vampirella was an illusion imbeller you've reprieved. I had pen until I started to read this. So he shows up. He's a little upset because there've been all these vampire-like murders, and everybody's been drained of blood. And he thinks Vampirella may have been involved, and he shows her. The fact is there've been 6 slayings in 6 days, and her and Adam just came back from Hollywood 6 days ago. So the coincidences are kind of everything's lining up.
And next to all the murders is always a letter V.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't said that yet. We don't know that yet, but yes.
I'm skipping ahead.
Skipping ahead.
The print is small. I want to know how old man Van Helsing with no vision was reading the paper.
He's like Daredevil, dude.
Okay.
No vision, but he can read it with his fingers.
He's an original superhero.
Yeah, exactly.
Vampires, motherfucker.
His vampire fighting abilities lets him do that. Professor, you don't think I had anything to do with those crimes? There aren't too many other vampires in this day and age. Who else would have such a mechanical thirst for blood? And then it reminds us she's not really a vampire. You're right, nope. Professor.
She's Draculonian.
Yeah, she's a Draculonian or whatever you want to call it. What do you expect from a girl who hails from a planet where blood-like rivers are the source of nourishment? The other thing that's a little funny here to me when I was reading it, and it may be, I don't say it's because Warren was doing and it wasn't Marvel or DC. Some of the balloon placement throws off the reading. I had to read a couple of the panels twice to kind of get the whole gist.
Yeah.
This one is the one that really kind of stood out to me here. So she says this, and then I went to read this panel and this, but you actually should read them backwards.
So you go 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
and
exactly.
then 5.
But so we find out here, Adam's like, hey, I haven't done this, and I'm innocent. Of course, Conrad's just, really upset about it. This isn't your run-of-the-mill homicide. My psychic senses keep telling me there's some terrible reason behind all 6 of these ritualistic slayings, very much like vampirism. Of course, after they talk, he leaves, and then he goes and meets one of his Wednesday after the Vampirella's performance, the dark abandoned halls of the prestigious Eastern University. So he goes to the university to see one of his students, and he's going to go talk to her, and or she's crying. Why the hell? Dr. Van Helsing, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was here. Why are you crying? Because you're alone at this gloomy old university at night? I was working late in the tomb, sir. Yes. And you came across the very sad story which simply left you in tears? Something like that. What's really troubling you? And of course, she tells him, you're sweet. Come on, trust me. You can trust your local blind man. That's where we discover he's blind. It's personal, doctor. Someone must have put them in my... So she's got some naked photographs. Somebody's took some pornographic images of her and stuck them in her purse. He's going to blackmail her with her. And she's really upset about it. But the doctor's like, hey, don't worry about it. And she doesn't remember taking them. So she heads out.
Cocaine is a wonderful drug.
Damn it. All the, and I don't say all the women are drawn really well, but especially the close-ups are good, dude, in this issue.
Oh, yeah.
So she's just trying to get Van Helsing to help her. They go to get in the car, tell me about it along the way. And of course she wakes up later on in her, she's like back at her apartment or something, maybe at Van Helsing. Dr. Van Helsing, he says, I've gone to do some research on your case. Call me if you need me, Conrad. That sweet old man kept him so late I fell asleep on him. And she's got her little dog, and she starts stripping. The dog stares at her. This is for girls only, and she gets in the tub. And you can hear Bosco there. He's like, woof, woof, woof. This
and I'm out in the other room going,
Damn it. So Bosco makes a noise. She gets up and gets out of the tub, goes to check on him, and his eyes have been ripped out. Ugh. And she's terrified, so she just kind of curls up the dog and sits down in the damn bathroom and cries.
Yeah.
Now we've moved forward to Thursday, and here's Arthur and Vampirella, who, dude, she's like wearing absolutely nothing. This is like her nightgown or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she wears much normally, but she's even wearing less than normal here, it seems. So there was another murder, and it was the 7th. It was a woman. Her throat was slashed, and she was drained of blood. And she's like, and your father thinks I'm the killer. You know, I know you're no murderer, baby, but Dad, he knew the victim, one of his students. He found something the police hadn't leaked to the press. The murderers painted the letter V beside each of the victims' bodies in blood. V, like Vampirella. So they actually think here that good old Conrad's gone to the police, and he's going to tell them what's going on. So she's like, I've got to, we got to get you out of baby. We got to get you out of town and go where, Adam? If they really think I'm the killer, they'll hunt me down no matter what. So she's got to do, cool Batman thing here. She's going to actually go out, try and find the killer, and redeem herself. But first, she's got to put her outfit on. It's like, that's all of it right there. See?
I have more material than a pair of shoelaces.
A pair of shoelaces. Damn it.
Okay, one shoelace.
One shoelace. Yeah. So true enough, I've got a few tricks that should give me over the edge. You're going to help me, lover. It's going to take a bit of convincing. Boy, it don't take a whole lot of convincing, does it?
Mm-mm.
She just flashes. I'm convinced, and they head out. Now this next little part here, kind of lost me for a minute. So the story takes like a little road to the left here, as Vampirella and Adam go out to try and find the killer. Now we go back to the Gold Dust Room here in New York, and there's a magic show going on. And this is the incredible Professor Tenchi and his Mysteries of the Orient. He conjures all kind of amazing magic tricks. It's a magic show. Twists and turns and transforms into loathing serpents. Of course, there are all these monsters that appear, and it's all illusion. So he's really, getting the audience involved here. Master of illusion. Bravo.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. So now we get to find out that Mr. Tenchi here, he studied his works, and he's trying to learn all of the magic he can from him. And we find out that Tenchi is actually in town with some other people, because they're all going to come together later on. My youth, this guy tells him, my youth never progressed beyond the crimson circles. I found true sorcery fought with terror. So with this part, we discovered that he's kind of like Vampirella. He's actually doing real magic, not illusions. This is not the David Copperfield crap. He's dealing with real demons and all that. But our guy here that's brought Tenchi into town couldn't deal with it. He knows it's real, but he's too spooky. He's too spooked about it, so he doesn't deal with it. That's why he's an alcoholic. Damn it.
That's why he's an alcoholic.
Right there. See,
Yeah.
glug, 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 glug.
He needs a bigger flask.
Yeah, pompous fool. Your arrogance is excelled only by your stupidity. You need to tell people that at work. I'm sorry, Father. They will be reckoning in 2 days. We can afford to have nothing go awry between now and then. I assure you, my son, ours is the most precarious position. I understand, Father. I thought at first he was looking into a like a crystal ball,
Yeah.
And then later on in the story, I realized, oh no, it's a flask. He's got a demon in a bottle, like not like Iron Man, but a real demon in a bottle.
Sounds like a song.
Damn it, Adam, this isn't going to get us anywhere. We've got to talk to him, baby. He's angry and upset about last night's killing. Yeah, back with Vampirella here. They're going to go confront Conrad and tell him what's going on. You've brought her, haven't you? Look, Dad, she's no killer. I was with her last night when the police found the seventh victim. Tommy, there was Guy was more than a number, Adam. She was a brilliant student, and my friend, or he, excuse me. His death was senseless, and I'll do everything in my power to bring his killer to justice. As for your girlfriend, we're well aware of her hypnotic powers. She'd have you believe you were on Mars last night if it suited her purpose. Doctor! Yeah. So finally he goes on, and he's like, Vampirella may have done it or not. And she's like, May I ask, did you tell the police? How did the police respond? And the old man, even though he's so pissed off about it, he's like, I couldn't bring myself to tell the police.
Because he didn't want to tie his son into it.
Exactly. He doesn't want to bring his son into it. But you're causing me serious unrest. For your sake, I hope the killer's caught soon. So even though I think it's you, and I could have turned your ass into the police, didn't want to get my kid involved, I didn't. But I hope the real killer's caught soon. So they decide they're going to go out and look for the killer, her and Adam, and they head out. And then she looks all sultry here when she turns into a bat. Vampy flies away.
Like the more what they did for the morphing, like her eyes glowing and the fangs coming out.
Yeah.
Her hair lightens up and everything. I just paid attention because Adam's got a very distinct car.
Yeah.
We find out because somebody that likes to wear blue a lot recognized the car. Wonder who that could be. But in that bottom panel,
yeah, that
looks a lot like Black Beauty, Green Hornet's car.
Maybe I have to see it again. It's been a while since I read any Green Hornet comics. So she does fly around, and she actually goes hunting to try and stop the murder. And of course, she can't. This poor wino bites it. So he's an alcoholic too, so he bites it. And she shows up as she sees him hanging upside down, like draining blood everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
On the lamppost, a body in the shadows. Of course, she gets down there and she tries to stop it. When murderer. And do you recognize this guy?
Yep.
This is one of Tenchi's guys. His the son. This is the pompous fool who attacks her. What's the matter, little brother? Can you not defend yourself against a woman? I'll finish her. No. And they get in a huge fight. Dude, he does stab the shit out of her, though.
Yeah.
He stabs the crap out of her. And, of course, the police do show up. They see the body hanging, and they see them run away after they stab Vampirella and chase them down an alley. But they disappear. So get back there with the other one before she disappears, too. They get back. All the blood's dripping, but Vampirella's gone. I liked this. Okay. To me, this is one of the coolest parts in this book. She gets stabbed, she turns into a bat and flies away, and she's still damn bleeding.
Yeah.
She doesn't, a lot of times some comic books and that kind of stuff, she would have healed when she did the transformation. She doesn't here. Matter of fact, she bleeds for the next little bit. She can't even fly because she's dripping blood there. Still a couple panels later until she finally brings herself down and can't hold her form anymore.
Yeah. And
crashes into Adam's car.
Oh, I don't know. The form she ended up with is pretty damn good. Wah wah.
Oh, good God. So, baby, what's happened? The killers, I found them. But, I let them get away. God, they tore you up. We've got to get you to a doctor. But he can't take her to a doctor because
She's an alien.
She's an alien.
And a vampire.
And a vampire.
How's the doctor going to concentrate with that outfit on her?
Exactly. So they head off. They're going to go back to the house and try and patch her up as best they can. And this is where the police, the ones in blue, see her car. It's like, oh my God. They look at that. It's the same Fox from the APB. How do you know? This is where we know she wears a red jumpsuit. Even in the dark, that red bikini's like a neon sign. So they start chasing her. Adam even tries to run down one of the officers, but he's not man enough, so he like swerves and keeps going. But he does know where the hell he's going, and he manages to actually go through this damn tunnel. And I have no idea how the hell the car does this, but he jumps onto a ferry that's leaving the dock and lands safely. He doesn't bring the damn boat down.
And then they're all cheering down with the pigs.
Exactly. I mean, it's a bunch of damn hippies on the ferry. Oh, look, down with the pigs, down with police brutality. You showed them.
Look, we lost the book.
Really?
That whole scene was right out of Dukes of Hazzard.
That whole scene.
You see the bottom of the car go over, and in the back of her head. And then Roscoe's cop car right in the drink.
Yeah, right into the damn bay.
Come on, Flash, get out of the car.
Oh God. Did you get it? There it is. Yeah. So, but I was like, how the hell did he not bring the damn ferry down when they crashed that boat onto it? Vampy love, if only you could learn to stay out of trouble. I'll get you for this, you hot rod and highway hooligan, if it's the last ticket I ever write.
That's how you're going to get them, by writing a ticket?
Exactly. It's a pretty damn easy way to get off for you trashing a damn cop car and them almost bringing, reckless driving and bringing a ferry down. Come on, Ross, let's explain this one to the Sarge. Oh, here's our girl. Yeah. So here's Chrissy Collins.
Yeah. That conversation with the cops ended up. Told you guys, no more drinking on the job.
Exactly. So across town, she's asleep. Suddenly noise. Chill. Wind. Expresses slumbering girl, and she's awake. Clutched tightly in a Herculean grip of fear. Who's there? It's a monster. Of course, she feels it, and she's like freaking out, but there's nothing there. Of course, she starts screaming, and finally, this padre comes to her. She's my child, and then she's gone away. Now the story later wakes up. We're back here with Adam. As we follow along. And now here's Vampirella getting up. So come quickly. I need you. Dad, where are you? 14B Canal Street. What's the matter? Dad's in trouble, so we're going to see him. Now, see, she's wrapped up still, dude. She's all patched up. She's got a damn Band-Aid all around her. Now, this was kind of cool, too. So she knows she ain't got but one damn outfit. It's a red bikini. And the police are looking for her in the red bikini. So she has a leopard skinned nightshirt or something she puts on and heads out, but she doesn't even bother to close it up.
And he didn't bother to put a shirt on. He just put his suit jacket on.
Yeah.
Because, his ego's going to be through the roof.
Probably.
He sleeps with Vampirella and doesn't wake up dead. It's a good sign. She likes me.
Well, he does, and the thing that gets you is he got any vampire in him, or can she even turn anybody into a vampire? Because he talks
the whole
about
alien thing, yeah,
the alien thing. But he loves the Draculian hickey she gives him later on.
Oh boy,
yeah. It's Dad. He's in apartment B. He needs me, dear God. So here's the girl, Chrissy. She's like screaming and hollering. Adam, hold her, son. Help me, calm her down. So now we get some, this is some, what do you want to call this?
Cat fight?
Risque art area, or cat fight. You can't stop me. The power of the dark is mine. She kicks the shit out of Vampirella. No power on earth will hold her.
And she appears to be bloody naked.
Yeah. Or she's got like next to nothing on, like panties and a bra at most.
Well, for the 70s, I guess she must have shaved.
Yeah. So kill. And Adam hits her with a damn table lamp, or goes to hit her with a table lamp, but she knocks the hell out of him. You dare defy the dark powers? Of course, now she's going to kill his ass.
Or try to.
Yeah, try to. Vampirella manages to stop him, but she runs away. And then there we see, I can't believe, right through the window. 3-story straight to the ground. Dude, she hits the ground and runs. And she's racing into the street like she didn't feel a thing. It no longer is Vampirella. Chrissy Collins now belongs to them. Can't you smell them? The demons. And then there on the floor, or not the floor, but the ground outside the house, is the Padre.
Must be working that street corner.
Huh? Yeah.
He must be working that street corner.
Damn it. That, and you get the cool exorcist look.
Yeah.
He gets out of the car.
Yeah, that had to be done I think that had to be done on purpose, because it's like right over the movie cover.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a familiar figure, a man of servant of God, who earlier that night professed to help the horror-plagued Chrissy Collins. He just walks off into the darkness. Now we find out kind of what's going on. The Padre's involved, Father Joseph here. It's a long climb, it's a long climb for him. He goes up there, tell that to the Vatican. And to what, pray tell, is going on up here? And there's Chrissy. And she's like freaking the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're growing impatient, but it won't be long now, my pet. Just 2 more days until the reckoning. That can only be one. Or is that the quickening?
That's the quickening, yeah.
And then those sniveling zealots in Rome will pay. Dude, this was a little weird. So I've waited, he says, I've waited a long time, 55 years, and I've done their bidding. I could have been a cardinal by now if I were Italian. Instead, I get a parish my own, poor, humble parish for 5 forgotten decades. And then they kick me out, sell the land out from under my feet, and add insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll show them. I'll ascend to the papacy without their blessing. I haven't spent all those years as a diocesan exorcist without picking up a few of the Dark Master's malevolent tricks. 2 more days, and my little friend, then we shall claim the ultimate power. So this is where we start to see essentially there's a cadre of wizards that rule over all the other wizards and witches in the world.
Yeah.
And they have their own pope, like you were talking about earlier. When the pope passes, they have to elect a new pope. Well, if they can't decide who's going to be the new pope, to let everybody know they haven't decided, they kill somebody. And it's an innocent person. And they kill one for 10 days every time they haven't decided who's going to be the new anti-pope. And on the 10th day, if they, or the next day after the 10th day, they can't decide who's going to be the anti-pope, they all get together and they have demons that do battle. And whatever demon is left standing, the person who controls that demon is now going to be the new pope.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole premise here. We shall claim the ultimate power. Of course, the story continues here as, we got our other magician. He talks to Vampirella and Adam and, oh my God, our old Van Helsing. And they're discussing about it. And Van Helsing's finally like, oh God, it's all black magic. I realize it. I should have expected it. And no, Vampirella, when I saw Techi's magic, it's magic behind it all. So here's what you've been looking for, hidden away in the pages of an ancient Oriental Book of the Dead, which they read. Yeah, they call it the anti-pope.
Yeah.
Handful of bishops, priests, and the exponents of their beliefs. When the high pope is unable to fill his sanction, when he dies, the council of archbishops combines. So that's where there's only 10. It's made up of 10 of the most powerful, highest-ranking wizards. They travel from all parts to convene at their current Vatican, which is in New York. This is how we we get nudity here. This is how we know this is a magazine and not a comic book because
Mhm.
it's not comic book code approved.
Nope. That's why they went to. That's why they went to magazines.
Yep. When the Council of Wizards meets, they have their own way to informing the disciples that no anti-pope has been chosen. An innocent person is slain and his body is drained of blood. At the end of 10 days, the death of their 10th victim and a selection is made, there's a gathering of demons. And this is why we saw the one earlier in the bottle. We've seen two of them now. Quite each contrary possesses a minion of hell, which is forever at his side. It is a battle, Vampirella, awesome apocalyptic terror-filled battle. The wizards do not assail one another. The demons literally rip their host to shreds. So the demons actually possess people's bodies and attack each other. So now that they've got that down, they've discovered it's black magic. They're on day 7. So they're only 3 more days before this crap happens. And, they bring all kind of terror to the city. They talk about, earthquakes, the London fire, raising of Chicago, all of this. This is all the wizards that were doing this. I do like they lay out all the murders, kind of lay out to form a pattern, and they start tracking them down. We might have enough time to prevent another killing. Of course, they call the police. Yeah. But the police had already come to that same conclusion when the older Van Helsing calls, but they actually struck a different point only a few seconds ago. So now they lay it out and they head out toward them. The theater's the same way, dude. I really think it's some kind of, the backgrounds are almost like some kind of photostat.
Yeah.
It throws some of the art off. Yeah. So they head out and they finally they run into Tetchy there. And they see him. So they must stand at the very center. So now once they lay everything out and they see the pattern, the actual meeting has to be in the center of it, which is a old abandoned church.
Yeah. And they figure it out because he's sitting there like flicking matches at the map.
Yeah.
And then when they bump the table, it forms something to let you know that it wasn't the letter V next to everybody.
It's the points of a pentagram.
Yep. And at the center is the abandoned church that's due for demolition. So.
Yep. Tell the police everything, Dad. If they can prevent the last murder, the pentagram won't be complete. The thing that's cool too is they're essentially doing I won't say like at Washington D.C., but like in Washington D.C., where the roads make a giant supposed pentagram, and there's a like a little compass and square on one side. But if they make the giant pentagram in the city, then the center part is safe, and the demons can't really hurt the wizards.
Yeah.
So tell the police everything. If they can prevent the last murder, the pentagram won't complete. With a little luck, those demons just might turn on their masters and save us a hell of a lot of work. But they head out, and they head to the church. Of course, Vampirella's in her bat form, and she flies in through the bell tower. But
a bat in the belfry.
Yeah, when Adam Van Helsing gets there and his partner, they actually can't go in. There's like a protective force around the church.
Yeah, protective spell.
So they can't go in the front damn door. So Adam's like, hey, I can't let Vampirella go in alone. So he decides I'm going to climb the damn bell tower and go in the same way she did. No, dude, this is not good. Your ass will fall. Yeah, guard the front door. Me? Yeah, that's the wino.
Glug, 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 glug.
Exactly.
Good job, Penn.
I told you he was alcoholic.
His name's not Al, it's Penn.
Yeah, I could hit him with my empty flask. On the other hand, maybe ineffectual. Maybe I'll use the good book and the most powerful of the holy symbols. Vampirella does
and then
save Al. as he falls.
In the center pages, yeah. He's like, "Don't look down, stupid." Oh, should I look down? And he just loses his grip, and she saves his life. And
give me your hand. Cool page.
yes,
Really cool page on the inside of the church. We see all the 10 wizards coming together, and they're like host of demons and such around them. Adam finally realizes what the hell's going on. Oh, Jesus, what have we gotten ourselves into? Oh, you had to do it, didn't you?
Is it too late to go home?
Yeah. Powerful master, hey, please of your humbled slaves. Now we start. The art, to me, he had more fun drawing this than the earlier parts of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's kind of gone crazy here.
And that page is just great.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's awesome. I'd almost wish I can't really, but the writing was gone. Because I know you need it, but maybe across the top, yeah.
Or maybe we don't need exactly this much exposition.
That too, because it does take away from the art.
Yeah.
So yeah, here all the demons slowly start ascending, coming out, and the wizards all begin to have a fight. We see, well, since this one's Chrissy Collins, this wizard's got a little 18-year-old child, this is an old man, all kind of different demons, and they just begin to attack each other. The demons are atop one another. And they just do battle, ripping arms, faces coming off.
Yeah, I liked how they used the concussant force on that top panel to do separations inside of it.
Yeah,
to make like a collage of a whole bunch of different things. So
yeah, different fights between the demons going on. And of course, here comes up above. Adam and Vampirella decide to finally get involved. Adam, Vampy, you can't, not alone, but she can. She jumps out. So I'm guessing here she turns into a bat to kind of or half bat to control her flight.
Yeah.
And then right before she gets to Tenchi, she turns back into a human and strikes him. And she's you'll die first. And she does. She like rips his damn throat out. And she's all dripping with blood as her Tenchi's Tenchi's son and daughter attack her.
Yeah.
Of course, they do their own battle here until the wizard turns on her. Adam takes off his jacket and gets involved.
Adam swings in like 1970s Batman on the rope. That's a Jim Aparo Batman pose on the bat rope.
Yeah. Yeah. Adam falls a mass of charred welts and split flesh, and amidst the terror and clamor, Vampirella does not even see. The battle of wizards rages. Of course, while they keep fighting, everything's going to hell. And finally, from outside, the alcoholic guy, but Adam comes back, and he's got the Bible. I guess our alcoholic buddy brought it in, and he starts doing the exorcism from the Catholic Bible. And the demons all freak out. They start to, they scream and holler because now they hear the holy words. And he commands them, command in the name of God, and the demons finally start to go away. They continue the fight and such. Condemn you. The wizards lash out in their fury with unbridled rage. They all try and get Vampirella at last. Where's the one scene with the cross? Yeah. Vampirella is determined this is the only soul who'll be saved. Yeah, she tries to save Chrissy there.
Yeah.
But she can't. Chrissy gets like pulled down in the abyss too. Yeah, there it is. Leave this holy place. I command. There's our alcoholic buddy. He finally comes in and gets involved. The aged prejudiciator hurls a small golden crucifix into the netherworld pit, An instant later, a flash as bright as the sun fills the church with a sacred glow. The final blow has been struck against the council of evil. So the professor, he goes back. Illusion? No, it wasn't me. And now we discover. So we're back at the insane asylum, and this is why Chrissy, who did manage to make it out and end up in the asylum, screams and hollers because she went through all of that shit with Vampirella and Adam and the demon monsters.
Mm-hmm. And
she cannot do anything. What do you think? I think, my young friend, that the demons took her away a long time ago. It's her mind. Her mind is shot.
Yeah. And apparently the hero of this book is the Bible.
Yeah. It saves everybody. Yep.
I was like, wow. They never write a story with the Bible in it nowadays.
No. The story is good. Like I said, it was a standard Vampirella story for me at the time. It was a little long. It's not particularly convoluted, but there's a lot going on in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can be simplified a little bit more. But yeah, I really liked it. Art was really good in parts. I think the second half of the art was definitely better. Vampirella looks great as always in these books.
Yeah. That's the point.
That exactly. And we even got a cat fight, and the monsters are good too.
Yeah. And we can tell he had a blast drawing that big splash page with the demon coming out of the pit. So. Oh yeah, that one. Where's that? Right. Right here. Yeah. Yeah.
That one. I mean, dude, that one. That page is good. Some of the damn splash pages were amazing.
Yeah. The splash pages were TSR worthy, shall we say?
Oh yeah. So I still don't get the jump. I do like I said, the blood. That was really cool. Where she stays bleeding.
Yeah.
They would have done away with that in some comics.
Like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Bruce got shot. I'll just turn into the Hulk and it'll be magically gone.
Yeah, that was awesome. Freaking panel. All right.
Well, you turn the page and you get slapped with a full page image of Vampirella. That's never bad.
No. We'll get all the way back to the back of the book where we could discuss the editorial.
The editorial, yeah. And when I'm reading it, and I read it because I know you would read the damn thing.
Why do you say that?
Because you read every page of the book. And you knew that I would probably. The only reason I stopped, it said the comic books. I go, oh, what's this about? Because otherwise, afterwards, I spent like a good 15 minutes, being sad, depressed, and nostalgic all at the same time by reading all the Star Wars stuff. And then laughing hysterically when they showed the Darth Vader costume, which was basically like a Ben Cooper Darth Vader, like 2D mask like this.
Yeah.
And apparently they made a hoodie out of a hefty trash bag and stamped the word Star Wars on the chest. That was the Darth Vader costume.
And they were selling the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm like, they did better when they made the actual Ben Cooper thing. They were selling that thing. It was probably, I don't remember how much it was. I have it right here, so I'm gonna look at this. That was just like, you're failing. I saw the Star Wars bed sheet set that I had forever. Locked my dog in the room and she pooped all over it. That was no good. I cried for a week afterwards.
Damn it.
They couldn't call, there was like a third party company, not Kenner, selling lightsabers, so they called them Star Wars Force Beams.
Oh my God, I missed that part.
It's opposite the pillowcase ad. Oh, there is. I don't know if it's going to show up on the thing, but it's like in the corner right there. mic a little bit.
Oh God, yeah, I see it.
It looks more like a sand people than a sand person than it does Darth Vader. It's like it's a hoodie trash bag with a plastic face mask.
Damn it.
I'm surprised they didn't just be like, just throw one of those Long Ranger masks in there. That'll be fine. Because that's what they did with the Superman costume originally. Just give him like a red Long Ranger mask. It's fine. Because one year I was going to be Superman instead of Batman. And then we got out to the car and I opened it up and go, there's no mask. I told you there was no mask. I go, well, nobody's going to believe I'm Superman. I had to bring it back in. What do you want instead? Batman. Again. She could have saved herself probably like $100 if she would have just stopped throwing the costume out after Halloween.
Stop throwing it out. You didn't grow out of it?
No, I was still skinny until I hit puberty.
Damn it.
Then I had to be a vampire.
You had to be a vampire. All right. So this editorial, I do love at the bottom. The opinions pressed on this page are exclusively those of Mr. Branicelli. As such, they may not reflect the thinking of Warren Publishing Company's management or employees.
Poop wars.
Yeah.
Or maybe dog wars or fresh poop.
Damn it. So the comic books, what hath Congress wrought? So he goes on to talk about, Article 1 of the Constitution, freedom of the press, all this. Mm-hmm. Then he goes on about copyright laws. If anybody listening or whatever is vaguely familiar with copyright laws, they are some jacked up stuff. And they have been extended multiple times. That's how the hell DC still has the copyright on Superman. That's how Disney still has the copyright on Mickey Mouse. Now, I think Mickey Mouse actually expires next year. But the way the copyright laws currently stand are the only version of Mickey Mouse that they would no longer have copyright on is the first rendition of Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
So the later versions where he's got the red pants and the white gloves and all that, that's still Disney. But you could make a Steamboat Willie style Mickey Mouse cartoon and be okay next year. Same thing with Winnie the Pooh. Winnie Pooh copyright law has kind of dropped and can't be renewed because it's past the expiration date. That's how you get that crazy horror movie with Winnie the Pooh that just came out. That's to me, it's just a travesty, and I haven't even seen it. I have no desire to see it. So now they're talking about, not surprising, spanking new copyright law isn't very well. Publishers seem to have an upper hand under the old law, and creators who are normally the benefactors under the new one have already been at each other's throats. So copyright hassle between freelance talent publishers has been especially gruesome in a flurry of harsh words, shoot from the hip contracts, and nasty lawsuits. So none of this has escaped comic book industry. Of course, as usual, they've managed to make more of a mess of the situation than any other segment of the American media. Part of the industry's problem, of course, is the fact that comic books are written and drawn almost exclusively by freelance talent. So we discover here that even in the 70s, everyone that worked in comic books were freelancers. Mm-hmm. Nobody except for the editors, maybe a few, secretaries and some other stuff actually worked for the companies. Everyone was freelance, right?
That way they didn't have to pay them any benefits.
They didn't have to pay them any benefits, no health insurance if it was around at the time, none of the other crap. So comic books are written by freelance talent. Part of the problem is creators and publishers never acknowledge the existence of the old copyright law, and part of the comic book companies have always been largely minor league thinkers. So back in the day, when you got a check from Marvel before this, and they talk about it here. Marvel stamped it. And essentially, if you cashed the check, you agreed to the stamp that the work you did to get this money was owned by Marvel Comics. That was their for hire defaulto stack.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about, the
old Marvel Comics work to right state.
Exactly.
Or right to work state, whatever.
Yeah. Newest laws is directly understood. Get it while you can. Nickel and dime mentality. Yeah, the newest copyright hassle began early in the spring when Marvel decided it needed a written agreement between itself and the freelancers it hires to produce comics. Marvel's legal staff went to work. In the past, Marvel had been returning most of the original artwork, but buying most available North American foreign and reprint rights under this legally questionable agreement, rubber stamped onto the back of its payment checks. Attempting to come up with a more substantial agreement, one that would stand up in court, Marvel worked up a one-page, single-spaced agreement rather than simply codifying what it was already doing. Marvel, however, their new agreement, which was presented to all freelancers, tried to see absolute, total, and dictatorial control. So, if you got it, they got all the rights. They could publish it as much as they want. North America, the whole 9 yards. They gave you back your original artwork. Now, if you've read some of the stuff in the past, the one person that didn't get back his artwork was Kirby.
Yep.
They kept it all. They kept pretty much all of Kirby's stuff. And he had to go through hell to get it. And then when he got it, a bunch of it was missing.
Of course it was.
Yeah. So it gave them exclusive copyright proprietorship. Now, I did not know this until a couple years ago, but one of the first people to start the creator rights movement was Neil Adams. Mm-hmm. Because he was so famous at the time, they had to kind of listen to it. And he got involved with some other creators. And now instead of fighting for it itself, it sounds like in here, they start a union,
Yeah.
So Marvel's
the Guild.
Yeah, the comic book guild, led by Neil Adams, the closest the comic book industry will get to Don Quixote, and several freelancers rebelled. They didn't try to simply amend the Equalize the Marvel proposal. They seized the opportunity to create a comic book creators guild. And then they proposed this new radical pay structure. Sole bargaining agent for the freelance talent work led in the comic book field. And they essentially forced the companies to go into arbitration. If you have a problem with somebody, you have an issue, you have to go into arbitration. Now, they go off, Marvel saying we get complete, first priority print rights, the whole 9 yards. Adams and then comes up with their own version and gives it to them. And they're like, no, this is what you're going to do. So Marvel would buy first North American rights only in America. First North American rights. So we'll say Canada, Mexico, and America. American rights. Buying first foreign rights would cost an additional 25%. Reprint rights would cost an additional 50%. All artwork remained the property of the talent. While the creator agreed to allow Marvel to use his name and likeness for promotion, he could withdraw the right for a good cause upon 30 days notice. So if you had, Claremont says this is the greatest comic of all time, and he didn't like it in 30 days, he could say, you can't say Claremont says it's the greatest comic of all time anymore. All disputes and controversies of every kind would be determined by arbitration. And there's a new payment scale. Did you read? You really read the payment scale?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All new payment scale stipulated a $300 a page artwork rate, a $100 a page script rate, $40 a page lettering rate, and $70 a page coloring rate. Although present rates may vary, Marvel is now paying about $100 a page for artwork and about 20 to 25 a page for stories. So I don't know. The thing that gets me on that, I don't know why the script and the artwork isn't about the same. They should be closer. It probably takes longer to draw it than it does to write it. But if you don't have a good story, it don't matter how good the art is, it's going to be poop.
I think a lot of it is because just about anybody could write a comic book back then.
Yeah.
But not everybody could draw a comic book, especially not a good one.
Yeah.
Like like a Kirby, Adams, Kuber, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And with comics, it's like the cover and the interior art is what sells the book, not what the story's supposed to be.
It does. Yes.
So
I can see that. Now, the thing that got me too on this is, so he says here that, they're essentially putting they're wanting a 200 to 400% pay raise per page, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was reading $300 a page for artwork back in the day, I mean, we're talking, this is before 1980. That seems like a hell of a lot of money.
Well, it's Neil, and he wanted all the money he could get.
Yeah.
Since he could never reach a deadline on time, most of the
Damn
time.
It.
But yeah.
But even 100 seems like low. 100 seems low. 300 seems too much.
Yeah. I know there's some guys that are still making like $300 a page. And today. some not today, and today, and some not as much. That's why they like bringing in the new talent, because usually the new talent won't have a following that won't basically demand and they didn't have to fight against social media back then, so it was like all this stuff was basically hush hush unless you were in the know from going to one of the few comic conventions back then, or you knew somebody that worked in the business.
Yeah. So he goes on. It says, okay, so will the companies agree to 300 or 400% raise in an already marginal industry? Who knows? And then who really owns the artwork, especially material depicting characters already owned by the company? Who owns the rights to a story or artwork using a character owned by a comic book company? Is it the company, the writer, the penciler, the inker, or is it the guild of freelancers really workable? Will the company circumvent the matter by simply hiring staff artists and writers and ignoring freelancers?
That's where we are today.
Yeah. Would a set rate of payment be, this is the other part. Would a set rate of payment be unfair to more talented creators by offering them no more compensation than less talented artisans? Will the companies consent to buying stories and artwork about a character owned by an individual rather than demanding their own characters as well? How is the creator of a character compensated fairly if the company owns the character he created and then merchandises it to other media? Do you trust Neil Adams and Jeanette Can and Stan Lee to help set precedent in a matter as complicated as copyright law?
No, because all three of those people were just out for themselves.
But the thing is I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there at the end to me. I mean, like we talked about, this is, and I love Sal Buscema, so I'm not going to slam Sal Buscema, okay? But as good as Sal is, I think John's better. So do they deserve the same amount of money? They work the same amount of time. Does Neil Adams, he was top dog. Does he deserve more than Aparo? Aparo did 20,000 times the damn comics that Adams did. But ultimately, Adams is a better artist.
And Kirby did 50 times the amount that Aparo did.
Exactly.
Because Kirby was doing like all but 2 books.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
One
did.
time, and he would just knock the crap out of these things.
Yeah, I mean, and they were gone. I mean, and some of them are not as good as others. Arguably, that some, not all of his artwork stands up, but a lot of it is amazing. And then you get the stuff that he really, really enjoyed. That's
Mm-hmm.
the best stuff in comics. FF
In the 80s, when he was done, completely done with Marvel, and he had previously gone to DC and done Kirby's fourth world there,
Yeah,
which added like a huge dimension to like the whole DC universe.
yeah,
He went back and teamed up with DC and Kenner, and he drew two of the superpowers, basically Super Friends, comic book miniseries.
and I picked one of them up recently. I think I told you that a while back. The superpowers or whatever.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
got
probably some of the best work Kirby ever did. It's amazing.
I've got a couple issues from like each one.
Yeah.
There was a comic book art dealer who was originally from Canada but has dual citizenship. Back when I was working at the club, he used to stop in there because he used to hire girls from the Gentlemen's Club,
Yeah,
to dress up in cosplay, and he'd give them like a G note to just like hang around and be his gopher, and they would draw like all the guys into the booth.
yeah.
He had in his possession, because Jeffy that owns Previews was in hock to this guy, owed him tens of thousands of dollars.
Damn.
The first painting Alex Ross did for the Overstreet Price Guide,
Yeah,
I think it must have been like a Marvel thing. Like I think it was like the Avengers or something.
yeah. It's like Captain America. I think it was.
Yeah. Jeppy had bought it off this guy and a bunch of other ones too. Never paid him for it.
Damn.
So you had to go in and take it back. But this guy had Jack Kirby's original artwork for the Kenner Superpowers line.
Oh, sweet.
It was like wider than my wig span and about so it's probably like 4x6
Yeah.
feet. And he showed it to me at the show, and I was just like, he goes, "Don't drool over here. This stuff costs money." I'm like, but he got me into a bunch of shows for free before they started clapping down and being like, "Oh, you're not allowed to have that. You can only have like one, maybe two people working for you, depending on how many tables you have."
Yeah.
But he had that. I got to hold that piece and just like look at it.
Sweet.
And I was just like in awe. But when he would acquire new pieces, if he had them like locked up in his vehicle, he would see if I was working, and then he'd be like, "Is your boss around?" I'm like, "No, he doesn't come in till like 4 or 5." And he'd come in like for the free lunch and to have a adult beverage and stuff. And he would have me go out in the hallway. He wouldn't bring it into the club, but he would bring it into the entranceway.
Yeah.
For me to look at. And he used to bring in like covers of Adventure Comics, like the original. Everything's like taped on it. The liner notes are still on the cover.
Yeah. This is where this color needs to be, and this is where this color needs to be.
All that stuff. Like he knew I was a big Jim Aparo fan, and so he was bringing in like some of the Phantom Stranger covers.
Oh, dude, those are awesome.
Spectre covers, early Brave and the Bold covers, like when it was still in like double digits.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh,
damn it.
I'm like, that's awesome. He goes, "No, you can't take a picture of it because nobody knows I have it yet."
Damn it.
I'm like, okay. I haven't seen him in years, but he was a cool guy.
The thing that got me reading this though is this is really a lot. Who owns the rights for these works? They talk about the blanket, free right, free reprinting. I mean, that's why we get the facsimile prints now, because they're cheaper. the facsimile prints. Then
Yeah, if you get them the day they come out, because the day after they come out, every scumbag flipper and their brothers have them up online for like $25 to $50.
The Hulk 181 has been reprinted facsimile like 3 times now.
And I don't have any of them.
Really?
I think I've got a reprint of it, but I don't have a facsimile.
Okay. Let me know. Let me know if you don't. I think I've got a couple. I think I bought 2 or 3 of them.
I've got it in. I've got the original first print of Hulk Omnibus #1.
Yeah.
It's still sealed in the plastic. It was never opened because it was bought as a Christmas present for my friend Dave, who passed before I got to give it to him. So I've got that one that I paid. I bought it during a sale, so my friend he used to get so pissed at me because we were friends, and I would wait for a sale to come in, and then I would buy big ticket items off him because it was like, buy books of equal or close value, and you basically get one free because it's a half price sale.
I got you.
So I would go in and, the morning he's just opening, I show up with a coffee. Go, sale today, huh? Go, yeah. He goes, oh, you son of a bitch. And I'm like, yep.
But we'll buy 2 omnibuses for the price.
That's how I went into one sale, and he put up like some big books because he needs raise some money for the shop. That's where I got not my ASM 300. I bought that brand new off the shelf. I wish I had bought more than one.
Yeah.
Of course, he limited them to like 1 per person and held like half of them back. But that's where I got the first 2 appearances of Silver Age Catwoman in the Lois Lane.
Yeah, 79, isn't it?
That's where I got the first appearance of the black costume in Marvel Team Up. First appearance of the black costume in Spectacular. Oh no, Amazing.
Yeah, it's 252.
Yeah. I bought like all that stuff. I probably spent like $300 and walked out the door with probably like $500 or $600 worth of books.
Sweet. So the other thing on this, we're talking about all these rates, is what's bad is, as well as I do, right around this time is when Gerber was fighting Marvel over Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Who, if nobody knows, like next month, it's on the pre-order list now, is Howard the Duck #1, because next month is Howard the Duck's 50th anniversary. And talking about Gerber and Kirby, because Kirby was fighting with this crap at the same time. Remember in the 80s, early 80s, Kirby did Destroyer Duck. And it was printed, and all of the money went back to Gerber to pay his legal bills because he was trying to sue the shit out of Marvel to get the rights to Howard the Duck.
Yep.
But this was a really, really interesting editorial because it's 78. This is live for the time it was happening.
This is like right in the middle of the Bronze Age. And he even says, like, at the end of this, I could have gone on about this for like more pages than I have here. So I had to limit myself to 1.
Yep.
So he hit all the bullet points, and I was like, wow, even back then.
Yeah. And the page rates they blew my mind.
And then the page rates blew up even more when a certain group of Marvelites left and formed Image Comics.
Oh, yeah.
If only they could have finished any of the series they were working on for Image Comics.
Before they left.
I was so excited that Mike Grell went with them, and he did Shaman in the cover. They all had like the 90s glam covers and stuff. And I'm like, this book just looks cool. And then I never read it. I just put it in the thing. So I was waiting with a new series, I would wait until it, either ran its course for like a year or so, and then sit down and like, you know,
Read it all at one time.
read it. And then I read it one day and I go, Mike, what the hell are you doing? This is terrible.
This is terrible. Damn
I'm
it.
like, oh. And then Rob Liefeld. I did see a video the other day where this comic
Liefeld
book
draws
podcaster from a show was doing an interview with Todd.
Yeah.
And Todd brings up there's a lot of comic book artists out there that either don't like to or can't draw feet. I had the first comment on that thread. It's like, OMG, did the Todd father just throw Rob under the bus? And of course, the Deadpool Rob fans all came out from their closets respectively and started like attacking me. I go, but it's true. And then afterwards, further down, because a lot of people were like on my side, but there were a couple of, you know, there's always the internet trolls. One guy goes, yeah, that's crazy, but it's true. I just flipped through like 30 books. And there's like either tall grass or like low rolling fog. So there's no feet on anybody.
There's no feet.
I go, yeah. And then Jim Lee went and drew Batman's soles of his boots and fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah. This Batman.
Because once he drew it, everybody had to draw it. And then he's like, yeah, I'm retiring. I'm just taking a corporate position with DC.
Damn it.
But I really enjoyed. I always love reading, you know, old Vampirella magazines because the art was just so up, and the covers were like next generation stuff back then. So.
Oh yeah, they're fun. Like I said, it's not a hard story. It was easy.
Yeah.
We did gloss over some of it there to the end because I was starting to lose my voice, and then we had to get to the editorial.
Yeah, it was dragging out too. So it was, you know, even back in 1978, it cracked me up that if you wanted a back issue, and these were like first print runs, not like today where it's sold out at the distributor level. So we're going to make 9 more covers and 16 more prints.
Nope.
Great. Back in 1978, if you never got a copy of Vampirella #1, even in October 1978, it would cost you $45 for issue 1,
yeah, and
$25 for issue 5, which are the 2 Frazetta covers.
Dang it!
And #1 had were there Frazetta interiors in that? Any?
No, okay. I think a few, but not a full story.
Yeah. Just like the introduction of the character in like issue 1, where she's like the big giant bubbles in her bubble bath are covering up her naughty thoughts.
That's it.
Yeah. And I was like,
dang it.
And that was just 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh. All right. So you made me read that long ass story. So
yes, I know I'm fucked for next week.
No. I was going through books the other day. I'm like, something I wanted to read. And I don't think we've ever read a Dark Horse comic on the show. Have we?
I think we might have. Like, you know, like a Red Sonja or something.
Yeah, I think we did Red Sonja, but it wasn't Dark Horse.
No, it was the Marvel. We did like the Marvel ones. I don't think we have.
So, are you ready? It's a 2-parter, so it's 2 issues.
I can't bitch. I just picked out a story that was 73 pages. Predator meets Magnus
Predator
Robot.
versus Magnus Robot Fighter.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Did you read it?
Part of it.
So the covers are by BWS.
Barry Windsor Smith, of course.
You can't go wrong with that.
Because Barry Windsor Smith was one of the chief. Him and Frank Miller were 2 of the chief artists in the original Valiant company. So,
the story is plotted by Jim Shooter. The dialogue is by John Ostrander. The artist is Lee Weeks.
Famous on Daredevil.
Dude, I mean, this is like a freaking Mac Daddy creative team. And I'm like,
yeah.
why the hell haven't I read these yet? And I can't remember when I bought them. I just found them the other day.
My problem was I only ever had one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's the first cover. That one right there that you're showing,
this one?
The Predator cover,
Well,
yeah.
That's the second one. So
yeah.
This will be next week. 2 issues. Now I did, I don't think I've read this one. Now I did read the absolutely amazing Batman versus Predator, where he hits his ass with the Batmobile.
And the best Batman fan film I've seen is Dead End.
Yes, if you have not seen Dead End, go and freaking
go on YouTube and search for Dead End Batman fan film, or just type in Batman fan films and look for Dead End. It was amazing. So the plot is Joker escapes Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
and he's on the run. And he's got the things. The actor that played Joker in Dead End actually ended up committing suicide.
Oh Lord!
And it not from the fan film, but he had other problems. But the actor that portrayed Joker in that was Walter Koenig's son.
Oh, was it?
There's my Star Trek thing for the week.
Damn, dude.
It was Walter Koenig's son. Yeah. They had a great Batman playing him, and he ends up in a battle with the best Predator costumes I've seen in my life. Better than anything they've used in the damn movies, those cheap Hollywood schmucks. These things were like blow you away, blow your socks off looking. And they were all different. They were like multiple Predators, so they were all different Predators. And there might have been another creature in there too. Just saying.
Yeah. It's a great damn. It's worth the 10-minute watch or whatever.
Yeah, it's only like 10 minutes, but after you watch it, you're gonna think that you spent like a half hour, 45 minutes watching it.
Yeah,
and that's without restarting it like 10 times. So,
so get back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel for Predator versus Magnus Robot Fighter.
Yep, it's a comic book. We're not. Coming out as Predators next week. Online. No. We're not.
Damn it.
We're just reading this great book.
All
right. Thanks to Alan and Hex Allen for coming in and hanging out in the chat, plus all the lurkers. Yes, I played Batman Dead End on my stream at least once. Yeah. Great fan film.
He knows.
Hex is in the know. So thanks for hanging out, and we usually get a few people and some lurkers whenever we do a Vampirella book for some reason. I don't know why.
Pervs.
And that's just the guy that picked it, yeah. So we'll be back next Thursday, Lord willing, for another double shot. Good night, gents. Who walked in? So we will be back next week with wrong button. Here we go. We'll be back next week with another episode and that two-parter. Usually it's me picking two-parters, but I don't know it's a two-parter when I pick the book, and then I find out because you have to send me something. This is a two-parter in the middle of a five-parter. Good job.
Good job. Damn it.
Everybody have a good night, and hey, go read a comic.